I am using a technique called mutual information to pick the best features for a classification problem. Think of it like this: I want to find the features that are most strongly related to my target variable. Break time 300 milliseconds. I have a dataset with 5 features A, B, C, D, and A and a target variable which can only take on 2 values. Break time 300 milliseconds. My data includes 5 features A, B, C, D, A to predict a binary outcome. Binary means the target variable can only be one of 2 possible values like yes, no or O1. Break time 300 milliseconds. I am using a function called mutualinfoclassif from the Sklearn library to compute how much each feature tells me about the target variable. Break time 300 milliseconds. The scores show how much information each feature provides about my target variable. A higher score means that feature is more helpful in predicting the target. Break time 300 milliseconds. Here's the result of that calculation. Feature C has the highest score 0.80, indicating it's very informative. Feature A has the lowest score 0.01, meaning it's least helpful. Break time 300 milliseconds. I'll order the features from most to least informative based on the mutual information scores I got. This helps me select the most important ones. Break time 300 milliseconds. My goal is to select the top 2 features which provide the most information. Break time 300 milliseconds. Based on my ranking, features C and A are selected because they have the highest mutual information scores. Break time 300 milliseconds. These are the features I choose to use in my model, because they're the best at predicting my target variable according to this metric. Break time 300 milliseconds. I have a dataset with 5 features, which I'll call A, B, C, D, and A. The target variable indicates whether something is true or false binary. These are the 5 different characteristics or measurements I am using to describe each item in my dataset. This is what I am trying to predict. It can only have 2 possible values, like yes or no, or 0 or 1. I use a function called Sklearn, featureselection, mutualinfoclassif to figure out how much information each of my features provides about the target variable. Google style name excited. This helps me see which features are most useful for prediction. Google style. This is a function from the scikit-learn library in Python. It calculates mutual information, a measure of how much knowing the value of one variable a feature tells me about the value of another, the target. After running the function, I get a score for each feature. A higher score means that feature is more helpful in predicting the target. For example, feature C has a score of 0.80, meaning it's very informative. The scores are A 0.25, B 0.05, C 0.80, D 0.10, A 0.01. I order the features from most to least informative based on their mutual information scores. This results in the order CADBE. I select the top 2 features from the ranked list Google style name conversational since C and A have the highest mutual information scores. I will choose them. Google style. This option is incorrect because I should select features C and A, which have higher mutual information scores than D. This is the correct answer because features C and A provide the most information about the target variable, based on the mutual information scores. I have a dataset with 5 features, which I'll call A, B, C, D, and A. The target variable is binary, meaning it can only take on 2 values like 0 or 1. Or true false. Break time 300 milliseconds. This is a typical setup for a classification problem. Google style name lively. Let's get to the feature selection. Google style. I used the mutualinfoclassif function from the Sklearn library to calculate how much information each feature provides about the target variable. Break time 300 milliseconds. Mutual information measures the statistical dependence between variables. A higher score means the feature is more informative. Think of it like this: break time 300 milliseconds. A feature with high mutual information helps me predict a target variable more accurately. The mutual information scores tell me how useful each feature is in predicting the target variable. Break time 300 milliseconds. Feature A 0.25, B 0.05, C 0.80, D 0.10, A 0.01. Feature C has the highest score, meaning it's the most informative feature. To choose the best features, I rank them from highest to lowest. Mutual information score C, A, D, B, A. Break time 300 milliseconds. Then I select the top two, those with the highest scores. Google style name excited. They're the most powerful predictors. Google style. Based on the scores, I select features C and A because they have the two highest mutual information scores. Break time 300 milliseconds. This means they are likely the most useful for classifying my data accurately. I have a dataset with 5 features, which I'll call A, B, C, D, and A. The goal is to predict a binary outcome like yes, no, or O1. I am using a tool called mutualinfoclassif from the Sklearn library. This tool helps me figure out how strongly each feature is related to the outcome. Sklearn is short for Sklearn, a popular Python library for machine learning. This explains the kind of data I am working with. I have 5 features A, B, C, D, and A, and a binary target variable, meaning the outcome will be one of 2 possibilities. These are the results from mutualinfoclassif. Each number shows how much information each feature gives me about the target. Feature C has the highest score 0.80, indicating it's strongly related to the target. Feature A has the lowest score 0.01, suggesting a weak relationship. I want to pick the 2 features that give me the most information about what will happen. The higher the score, the better the feature. Based on the scores, features C and A are the top 2. As C has the highest score 0.80, and A has the second highest score 0.25. Google style name lively. This is the overall goal. Google style break time 300 ms. I am trying to pick the best features to use in my machine learning model. Mutual information is a way to measure how much one thing tells me about another. I am using a technique called mutual information to pick the best features from a dataset. It helps me figure out which features are most strongly related to my target, what I am trying to predict. I have 5 features A, B, C, D, and A that I'll use to predict a binary target, meaning the target variable can only take on 2 values like 0 or 1. Yes or no. I used a function from the Sklearn library, called mutualinfoclassif, to calculate how much information each feature gives me about the target variable. This function tells me how much each feature helps predict my target. These are the results. Feature C has the highest score 0.80, indicating it's strongly related to the target. Feature A has the lowest score 0.01, meaning it is weakly related to the target. To make predictions efficiently and effectively, I need to choose only the top 2 features that provide the most information about my target variable. Based on the scores, I selected features C and A because they have the 2 highest mutual information scores. Which of the following statements are true? This is a multiple choice question where we need to identify the correct option based on feature selection performed. Google style name excited. Let's find the answer. Google style. I am using mutual information to pick the best features for a classification problem. It's like choosing the most informative clues to solve a mystery. Break time 300 milliseconds. I have a dataset with 5 features A, B, C, D, and A and a binary target like yes/no. Break time 300 milliseconds. These are the different characteristics or attributes I am measuring. Think of these as different clues in solving a puzzle. Break time 300 milliseconds. My goal is to predict a yes/no outcome based on the features. Break time 300 milliseconds. I am using a tool called mutualinfoclassif from the Sklearn library to measure how much each feature helps me predict the outcome. It measures how much knowing one thing tells me about another thing. Break time 300 milliseconds. Each feature got a score showing its usefulness. Higher scores mean better features for prediction. Break time 300 milliseconds. These are the mutual information scores, showing how strongly each feature is related to the target. Feature C is the strongest. Break time 300 milliseconds. I need to choose the 2 best features based on their mutual information scores. Break time 300 milliseconds. Because C and A have the highest scores, I pick them as my top 2 most informative features. Break time 300 milliseconds. This is a multiple choice question testing my understanding of feature selection based on calculated scores. Break time 300 milliseconds. I have a dataset with 5 features, which I'll call A, B, C, D, and A. The target variable is binary, meaning it only has 2 possible values like 0 and 1. Or true and false. This is a typical setup for a classification problem where I want to predict the target based on the features. Break time 300 milliseconds. I am using a technique called mutual information to figure out which features are most important for my classification task. Mutual information measures how much knowing the value of one variable a feature tells me about value of another variable, the target. Break time 300 milliseconds. The specific tool I am using is Sklearn, featureselection, mutualinfoclassif from the popular Python library scikit-learn. Break time 300 milliseconds. Google style name emphatic. This function will give me a score for each feature, showing how strongly it's related to my target. Google style. These are the mutual information scores I got for each feature. A higher score means a stronger relationship with the target variable. For example, feature C has the highest score 0.80, indicating it's the most informative feature. Feature A has the lowest score 0.01, suggesting it's the least informative. Break time 300 milliseconds. Google style name friendly. Think of it like this. A higher score means that knowing the value of that feature helps you guess the target value much better. Google style. Based on the mutual information scores, I need to pick the top 2 features. This means I will choose the features with the highest 2 scores because these features will be most helpful to predict the target variable. Break time 300 milliseconds. After ranking the features based on their scores, I selected features C and A as the top 2. Feature C has the highest score 0.80, and feature A has the second highest 0.25. Break time 300 milliseconds. Google style name excited. These 2 are the most informative features for classification according to the mutual information metric. Google style. This describes the data I am working with. I have 5 features A, B, C, D, and A, and a binary target variable, which is what I want to predict.